Hi and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to join the granny squares together. This pattern is available on my playlist. I'll link it above. There's two. There's one to show you how to do the circle and the other one how to turn the circle into a square. For my blanket I made a total of 30 granny squares. That's 15 of each colourway. The yarn I used was Starcraft Special DK in Parma Violet and white. Each of the squares measures approximately 6 inches, that's 15 centimetres. The blanket is made up of 5 squares wide by 6 squares long. I also added 2 rows of treble crochet around the edge just to make it a little bit bigger, and the approximate size with the border is 30.5 inches by 37.5 inches. That's 78 centimeters wide by 95 centimeters long. So I'll show you how to join the squares now. So this is the finished granny square. If we make sure that we have just sewn in our ends, just weave in your ends. And what I like to do with my granny squares is block them before I start to sew them. So I place the granny squares on a blocking board. This keeps them nice and square and it makes it easier for when you go to sew your squares together, and it keeps them nice and neat. This is a blocking board by Millwood and you can make it bigger or smaller if you want. It's about 12 by 12. So we're going to put the right sides of the granny squares together, and you see they all match up. And to sew these granny squares together I'm going to use a yarn needle and a darker shade yarn just so you can see where I'm going, but you would use the white coloured yarn like I did, or whatever colour yarn you used on the outside of the circle. So grab your yarn, and what we're doing, we're going to go front to back, just where that hole is, that stitch above, back of the stitch there, and that's on each side. So pop your needle through, pull it through, and just make sure you've got a little bit of a tail there. And now we're going to work along that edge, so it's going to be the outside loop on each granny square that you need to go through. So that's back to front, front to back, and we're basically weaving this yarn through those loops. As you can see, I've woven it backwards and forwards, and when we flip it over you can see that they've joined together. And what you can do, you can pull both of these ends and that will just tighten it up a little bit. So if you pull the ends a little bit, it will just tighten that up. So if you use the correct colour, then you wouldn't see anything really. It's quite a good way of joining a granny square. So I carry on doing that and then join again to this one and carry on till I've got 5. That will be the width of my blanket, and then join another 5 together, and then I would just do one long join, joining the 2 5 granny squares to each one. Then I join all of those together to make a block of 10. So to finish the blanket off, I just did 2 rows of treble crochet and then just a double crochet all the way round, and at the corners and in the corner I just did 4 double crochets, and it just just makes a nice edge. I did do the steaming of this on the back very gently, not too, because it's acrylic, you've got to be careful, but I just did a light steam as it was all in place, and it's just flattened it out, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it. So you can make your blanket as big or as small as you like, entirely up to you, and any different colour. It's just a really nice pattern. So thanks ever so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again. Don't forget to subscribe and like. There's loads more things to come this year. Take care. Bye.